All right, folks. Good Monday high noon, man. What a great weekend. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend and is ready to go. Hopefully, you had a great Friday. We had a fantastic Friday over in the Afterburner, the Max Afterburner group, and the Afterburner folks. I was dogfighting the hell out of Apple, and we had a blast. So we had I had an Apple Iron Condor on to Friday. And obviously the bear call spread was looking good. I knew Apple wasn't going to super implode, that it's been moving today. I made, Susie, I made $3 grand in about 36 minutes a little while ago, just in and out of Apple. But look at what I did Friday. As Apple super started to roll over, I just bought some puts for that day, the 355 puts. By the time I closed them, they were up like $6,500, which negated any potential max loss of the bull put spread if in fact that happened. So as the thing imploded, I'm like, I'm getting me some 355 puts, closed them for $6,600 or whatever, and the max loss on that one was, so I made $1 grand technically there, and then obviously the bear call spread. So we were having a blast on Friday. Joel over in the Max Afterburner group just like went 10 for 10 last week, and we're doing some good work and having a lot of fun. So I strongly recommend you guys look into that. What are my I don't think this is updated. I didn't put Lulu on here. Nope, out of Apple, out of my. I need to follow my checklist better. These are all wrong. I'll disclose what I'm doing because the slide's wrong. That's from Friday. I didn't update that. My bad. Well, it was busy weekend. So first of all, the greatest news from the weekend was Saturday opening a letter from the IRS, which usually has me in tears. Congratulations, your 501c3, whatever it is. We got our IRS designation for the charity. They said 3 to 6 months, man. Our attorneys, and 2, which tells you a little bit of a difference between administrations, Obama and Trump. And also it tells you a little bit about maybe the IRS kind of looked at that and said, hey, man, this is a veteran trying to help a veteran. And so opening that envelope, man, brought tears to my eyes. Initially, it brought tears to my eyes because it was from the IRS. And then when I read the initial couple sentences, I'm like, thank God, man, that we have some sane people here. So more to come on that. I'm still working on the website. There's 1,000 balls in the air, but I'm really looking forward to that, especially as COVID Part 2 starts raging through our country. I just can't even. I can't stand it. 2 months ago, we need tests, Mr. President, testing. You are frothing at the mouth about testing. Now we're testing a ton of people. Oh my God, the rates have gone up. The mortality rates have fallen, you jackasses. But who cares? It's just numbers and using your brain. So I'm really excited about that. More to come. And I know, shit, man, a ton of you guys have been reaching out like, dude, where do I send a check, or how do I'm like, wow, this is going to be, you guys are awesome. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the pre-support. And then also one of the reasons the market imploded Friday was because I went flying, man. So this was probably one of the best weekends in memory. So you guys know Orestes Lorenzo. He's over in the Max Afterburner group. He's been pretty busy. Hell, he owns a concrete company in asphalt. He does the concrete and asphalt for NASA for the launch pads, and he did the SpaceX one recently. Anyway, so my boy John Peter Buckley, got to fly yesterday actually in the back seat of Lorenzo's jet. So he and my boy went out. I was on the wing, only in America. Check this out. Orestes lives on 9 acres in the middle of Florida. Let's just say, and he lives on a lake. Let's just say we employed enough firepower, maybe with a couple wine coolers or some O'Doul's non-alcoholic drinks, and just lit up each night. So there was Jack cracking away at the AR-15. But check this out. Only over Florida, only in America, will you see a former Cuban MiG pilot in his own L-39 flying with an F-18 pilot in an L-39 with a MiG-17 flying with us, owned by a Cuban American. So Tony, the guy that owns this MiG-17, he flies for American, no military background, but he was born in Cuba, and his parents came here when he was like 10. So he's an American pilot, and he bought this MiG-17. So we're flying over South Florida. Orestes comes up over the radio. He's like, "Only in America. I got Matt's son. He's a Hornet guy. We got a MiG. I flew a MiG. What a great country." So it was comical. We were all kind of we were laughing about it, man. Here, let me show you our quick flyby. I don't know if you can hear it, but that's coming over the runway here. And that MiG-17's got full afterburner, man. That thing is just a pretty cool airplane. But anyway, so we had a great weekend with the IRS designation and all that. There's Jack with the MiG-17. This thing's tiny. He sat in it, and he looked claustrophobic. I climbed in that thing, and I about had a heart attack. Ray, it is a great country that might go to ruins. I'm not I'm very concerned. But anyway, all right, here we go. So North Korea says its only option is to counter nuclear war with nuclear war against the U.S. So here we go, man. It's 4th of July week. Of course, down here in South Florida, all the Democrats in Broward, Palm Beach, and Miami-Dade, everything shut down again. Everything. Didn't we know there would be more cases when we did more testing? Silence! Put your mask on, or we'll mask shame you. It's insane what is going on in this country. 0.04% fatality rate if you're under 70. But we're going to do it again, guys. And this is going to happen again. The market has fed fatigue. I think we've had enough of Jerome and his jawboning. Did you see what the? We'll get to this. I'm stunned, but I'm not. I shouldn't be stunned at anything that Uncle Jerome does. This is another reason the market kind of gave us a little death scare on Friday. China to the U.S. You're crossing red lines that could put the trade deal at risk. What trade deal? What trade deal? There is no phase one trade deal. Do you think the Chinese are buying one soybean from any farmer in America? That's not going to happen. Do you think China wants a dude with dementia who's locked in his basement as president, or Trump? I'm telling you, man, the drink is going to be powerful. And Trump blew it. He's been sitting on these FISA warrants. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares that you were spied on, that Obama approved it, that Biden unmasked General Flynn as well. You blew it. You needed to strike while the iron was hot, Donald. You blew it. So, shit show over there, shit show over here. How about this, man? Big Wall Street Journal article. U.S. is vulnerable to China's dominance in rare earth. I briefed this at the height of the trade war, folks. I told you. Apple, first of all, is Apple, and they could be in trouble in China. But what was it, 35%? The research we saw said 35% of the world's rare earth minerals comes from China, and they threatened that. They're like, hey, maybe Moose and Rocco shut down the rare earth mining that we're doing in this country to give you your Apple phones and your electronics. Whoa. This is a swirling, man. It's like that ice cream with the swirl. This is a swirl. There's a swirl here. And there's a confluence of events that are coming to play. Yeah, Graham, thank God Australia is our best friend, because you guys do have a lot down there. This, we predicted this was going to happen, didn't we, folks? I said, now that the race wars are starting to die down, did you see that clip of that couple up in, where was it, Detroit? Dude's got his AK, the wife's got like a handgun. They're like defending their house, and people are trying to cancel culture them. I'm like, are you kidding me? Those two people deserve a medal. But of course, the media is already doxing them and ripping them apart and all sorts of stuff like that. What's this video? Oh my God, look at that. That's America, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this guy. in the white shirt. Everybody watch that. Completely unloads his gun into that car. Let's go ahead and retweet that. Good job, Chicago. Defund the cops. There's that dude. St. Louis, Jesus Christ almighty, look at that clip. Oh my God, man. No riots about those people in the car dying, are there? Just the one or two people killed a year by a white police officer. That's what we're going to go to war. Wow, I didn't expect I'd be seeing that. So this was a interesting open, right? A lot of sell orders at the open, and the market kind of gave up the ghost a little bit, and then it turned. I don't care. We dipped below, folks. We dipped below again the 200-day moving average. On my institutional call this morning is where I got the Lulu Lulu trade from. This is to be bullish. You have to assume like, well, we're going to boing and go and just. I was wrong when we got down here. What did I say? I said we're going to chop around this 200. I was wrong, man. We got a week of levitation, but I warned you that levitation was concerning to me. I said this markets don't do that. These things are magnets. 90% of the time, except when the world ends type of stuff, these moving averages are magnets. This was a given. This was like stealing candy from a baby, getting bearish and saying that we'd come back to here. Now, obviously, folks, nobody's trading off the left side. Let's look at the right side. What's going to happen? We got North Korea saber rattling and just no bullish catalysts out there. Now, I get it. Let me listen to my own advice. In the absence of something absolutely horrific, race wars, COVID, I guess it's not horrific enough. The market tends to either grind sideways or higher. But now this is a little bit different. We drove back from Lakeland. I drove back with the family. My buddy Doc, I'm like, hey, throw your girlfriend in the back seat. I don't want to do it just a one leg home. I'll go drive back with the family. We stopped in Orlando to go to the outlets, man. Orlando is the COVID capital of the country. So here comes, and 4th of July, folks, I think for the first time in my life, 4th of July in America is canceled. All the beaches in South Florida are closed. Where do we go every 4th of July? Out to the Boca Beach Club in our chairs with our drinks, and the kids, back when they were young, they'd be playing in the surf. It's great. Now we're going to be in the yard. This second wave and a big leg down in the market is coming. It's a fact. 4th of July is canceled. I can't even. Where were you, ladies and gentlemen, last 4th of July? You know where I was last 4th of July? Not to brag, it's not my boat, so I guess I can. I was on an 88-foot Pershing. My friend Greg Andreas, the Brazilian lady. This Pershing yacht it's disgusting. They're the best people. They're not even pretentious at all, but the boat's just, it's embarrassing. We were anchored off of Star Island in Miami, and we watched like 5 sets of fireworks shows. I remember being on that boat last July 4th and going, you know what, man? God bless America. Take that, British. Take that, Queen. A year later, we're all going to be locked inside on July 4th. Do you know how big of a hit that's going to be to economies? The Jersey Shore. You guys know I was supposed to drive up to see my mom. It's closed. What do those people do for money, man? I'm telling you, sitting here making a couple grand every once in a while on Apple, in and out, and date. It's the haves keep on having, and the have-nots aren't. Yeah, do you remember that last 4th of July? The damn 4th of July. I hadn't been more proud to be an American in ages. Here comes the Marine Corps and the Navy and the Air Force and the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds and tanks and You remember the last 4th of July celebration? We went from last 4th of July, the president giving a rousing speech. It wasn't about him, it was about America. And a year later, we are locked down. Okay, ad blocker, Bloomberg. Ladies and gentlemen, this article said that the Federal Reserve was buying bonds in AT&T, United Health, Walmart. The Federal Reserve of the United States, I thought they were buying, I didn't know this until I saw it in Bloomberg. I got a lot of buddies who should have known this. They're like, dude, we didn't even, the Federal Reserve on the down low is who? You're telling me Walmart, United Health, AT&T needs the Fed to buy their, not the freaking market? Are you high? I guess I got it wrong. I told you the shit that I knew that I still don't want to really talk about things in Chicago that I know for a fact happened and who got bailed out. The Fed went past what I knew, and they're bailing out companies that don't need a bailout. I can't. The biggest disconnect between prices and profits in stock market history. I can't. You know me, guys. Don't fight the Fed. I'm enjoying it. I mean, God Almighty. Susie's damn portfolio is doing better than my personal account. Had a fantastic June, 46 grand, but it's all bullshit, folks. I told you, folks. I wasn't joking when I got rid of just about every investing book, man. It's gone. It's over with. But even me, folks, and we nailed this. Jeffrey Gunlock, I'm short this market. I told you he was wrong. Whiz right here. I am officially neutral. Whiz right here. I am NB sodium or whatever it is. I said I'm bearish. I just feel it, man. We did a great job smoking the hell out of the Fed hopium. That looks like a coming back for landing, man. We have reached the apex. Now I can be wrong, man. I can be wrong, and in the blink of an eye, the Fed drops another high yield nuclear weapon. I just can't. I don't know what it is. We got, after I got my ass kicked for a week or two down in EWZ land, what did I do? I got bullish on it. Why? Because I heard the Brazilian central bank was buying stocks. It turns out our own central bank is essentially buying stocks. Benoit made 50K like you this month. Awesome, man. That's great. A lot of people are doing some good work. The Afterburner group's doing great. The Max Afterburner group. I can't even with the Fed. I'm stunned. Our Ivy League economist dude. He's like I'm out of a job. He's a smart dude, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. Matthew, taking Norwich classes, his econ class was talking about the Fed in the past and stuff like that. I'm like, Matthew, ignore the teacher's question and talk about the Fed today. I don't care what the Fed did in the old. This is you're living in history, Matthew. Right? So, all right. I don't want to talk too much. I already sent out right at the open. Trade was looking great. I'm not worried about it. I'm kind of doing a staggered burner trade. So last week, this was a little shocking. Nike was supposed to be, hey man, the shutdown trade, everybody's sitting at home buying Nike stuff. Did you see their earnings? Everybody isn't sitting at home buying Nike. Boom. That they got slammed. Absolutely slammed. Now kind of, that's a gap move and it's holding here, but and I'm wearing my Lulu. So, look out potentially below with a Lulu. This is a mistake on my part. I should have gotten bearish sooner. You can always say that looking at the left side of a chart. But after this run, it kind of fell off my radar. I'm like, we got to short Lulu eventually, and then it just never. It's on my whiteboard up there, and my big TV's in the way. So my bad, not shorting the sooner. This has got a ways to fall. I mean, look at this thing. Not saying we're going back to COVID lows, but let's just say, I mean, that's a massive run. 147% from the low. What do I think's going to happen? Stocks, the VIX indices tend to find the mean, right? Median, mean. Here, 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 there, in my opinion. That's the 15-minute brief that the guy gave this morning on it in 15 seconds. What's that, 250? I bought some puts down here at the, I didn't text that out because it's technically not a weekly options trade. It was more further out in time. Where is it? So I bought some Lulu disaster puts down at 265, which is these charts suck. 265 essentially was the 50-day moving average. If we're gonna, this is a better looking chart. If Lulu's gonna, he made sense. He's like, the first COVID part 1 was what? It was, okay, we're all stuck. Let's hunker down for a month. Let's all buy some cheap stuff online, or what do you get? There's not going to be a Lulu wave 2, right? I already got all mine, unless somebody who was over a Sledge, I think, over in the Max group said, no, I think there's another bullish wave of Lulu coming. People need bigger sizes because we're all going to sit at home again and get fat. I put on 6-7 pounds, even though I was running and biking, and I still wasn't going the Lifetime and doing all my stuff. It's awful. What is this? Anyway, I bought puts down here. If we're gonna give some love back from this, look at that. Look at Lulu. If we're gonna give some love back, it's at least going to be to that 50-day moving average. Christina, in Boca Lifetime Fitness, you have to wear your mask working out. I almost want to do that so I die and have a heart attack so the wife and kids can sue and become millionaires. Working out with a mask on, you can. We had a guy in South Florida die. He went for a run wearing a mask, and he essentially, carbon dioxide himself. Freaking stupid. My my hot yoga place is still open, and I love it even more. Why? Because it's staggered. Every other, it's like a checkerboard. I hated being near people in yoga anyway, so now but it's 102 degrees in there, so the yoga's still open. But this is insane. All right, so anyway, so the Lulu, here's what I'm doing with Lulu. I did some puts. I just went out a month. I think if we're going to have another leg, it's going to be sooner rather than later. I don't think it's really hit people yet that we're not having a July 4th. Ain't no cities doing fireworks because they don't want people out in the street. But you're allowed to go out in the street and burn businesses and shoot people in their car. But God forbid you want to go watch some fireworks, man. I can't. We're losing it. We're absolutely losing it, folks. Anyway, I don't want to rant too much, and especially since now my headset's beeping. I'm short on batteries. And then I did a bear call spread, the 305, 307.5. Let me copy this. We need to be doing one contract. I sent this out wrong. I sent it out with 30. That was wrong, and I should not have done that because we're doing the one contract thing now. And I like this trade even more. You can get it better than what I got it because we imploded, and then Lulu came back, but that was, I like this the way it is. Let me see if I get the screenshot. Did I take a new screenshot of this? Lulu. No, let me take new screenshots with one contract and go through this. But essentially, so the guy had great commit criteria this morning for Lulu. He's like, after he gave me the Nike thing, I'm like, dude, great commit criteria. I am in that. Not only a short-term tactical bear call spread, but also buying some puts. So I'm using these front week bear call spreads to finance those puts. If we're going to go down, man, these leisure wear, they're going to get kicked in the gut. Okay, so here's the weekly options trade. Selling one of wait, that's the wrong expiration. How this? You know, you know what, folks? This is the wrong trade. No, 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 no. I want to bear call spread out to Friday. Son of a, you know what? And I'm going to beat Matthew to death because he watched me do that. No, I want to bear call spread to Friday. What an idiot. July 2nd. Good. Then we'll do it live right now. Yep. No, I did not do that far out. God takes care of fools, drunks, and sailors. I'm going to hold that trade, though, because I do think it goes lower. I wanted the... That was stupid. There you go. There's a live example of bad switchology for me. I like the 300. I can't believe I did that. That is bad. So there you go. There's a mistake live. Okay. Yeah. All right. So there you go. There's a good Obama teachable moment. Measure once, cut twice. Measure twice, cut once. This is the trade that I want. I'm going to tell you, though, that I'm going to hold on to that other one. It's still, I don't think we're heading up on Lulu at all. I mean, we can move sideways. So no, that is bad on me. All right, here's the analysis of it, though. This trade with one contract would be risking 191 to make 59. Okay, a 300 it's a round number, and it's kind of a ceiling-ish for Lulu. All right, let me grab a screenshot of this. And then I gotta get going because this thing is beeping in my ear that I'm out of batteries. Lulu, and I gotta recharge for solo Amazon. Man, that was stupid. But like I said, I am. The strikes on the puts. I did at the 50-day moving average. I got that right. The 265. Here you go. Here's what I did today. It's not a weekly options trade, but I'm just giving you my mindset that I think between now and a month from now, Lulu's going to give even more of it back than it has. It had that monster climb. It's doing a gentle descent. It's almost like the S&P 500. Monster climb. We're kind of doing a gentle descent. What's going to be the pull up? Is Uncle Jerome's talking tomorrow, actually. But what's going to be give me a reason to buy. I get it. The Fed's buying. Well, after seeing a headline like that, I can't wait to go to my mafia dinner. Oh, wait. I think Fort Lauderdale's closed again. I might not be having a mafia dinner. Where is he? Powell? Brainerd? Powell. There we go. With Mnuchin. Oh, this will be interesting. So Mnuchin and Powell are testifying this week. Does that change no, it doesn't, to be honest with you. I think Mnuchin's going to do we need another bailout I don't know. Do you have a headset this is a USB connection? I have a hardwired one, but that's my backup over here. So it'll be interesting. I think the market's kind of done a little bit of a let's just kind of do a glide to the floor here to see what's going on, and then either Mnuchin or Powell is either gonna help or hurt. Now, my bias would be to help, but to be honest with you, like I said, they're almost overexposed. If I was an AOC or an Elon Omar and I married my brother and broke the law to come into this country, I'd be like, you, the Federal Reserve, who makes money with the wave of your magic wand and a keystroke, is buying Apple, AT&T, United Health stock and Walmart, or bonds, sorry. And bonds, folks, actually screw who? You. If I still own Microsoft or Apple and they imploded, guess who gets paid back first? Me, the shareholder. No, you don't. The Fed would. So tomorrow, I don't know, man. They should be able to help the market with their jawboning. Tomorrow's a popcorn day, folks. What time they talking? Tomorrow's popcorn, man. Holy crap. 12:30. Ooh, high noon. Hmm. Yeah, Kevin, I agree with that. If we get a pop after that, we can go by the whizzism that the first response is wrong and we can trade the reversal. That's usually what's going on, man. 90% of the time, anecdotally, I will tell you the initial it's all algos. They listen. I I have a buddy who his algos read news and listen and their speech recognition. They even have it to the point where they listen to the tone of the voice, man. It's crazy. I'm not. I trade how I trade. I can't even believe they turn these boxes on and sit there and go to lunch. That's most likely not going to end well. Okay. PLTB is not at 1. The PLTB is at 10. Gary, can you go flying just in case? I'm still waiting for so my jet that I'm buying up in Washington, it's got a bad starter, and since it's been sitting for a little while, the guy's only flown he's literally the little old lady who drove the car to and from the supermarket thing. I think he's flown the jet 10 hours in 10 years type of thing. It was so it needs a bunch of stuff done, and I wanted to send my mechanic to go do all the stuff, and the guy's like MacGyver. He owns like a bunch of shit. He's that guy. He's like, come and fix my stuff. I'll do it. I'm like, a little faster, dude. So I'm not flying tomorrow. So Graham, years ago you said one day the market will not believe the Fed. Thank you for saying that, Graham, because that literally will be what? Everybody knows what I'm about to say. That will be the Fred Sanford moment. That's the literally grab in the chest. This was a medical Fred Sanford. A financial Fred Sanford will be devastating. It'll be fantastic for us since we're going to print money on the way down, but it is going to be bad. The day, so St. Jerome Powell has said that hell doesn't exist. The day that the market comes out and says, holy shit, hell does exist and there's Satan, it's going to be violent and it's going to be bad. Thank God the murder hornets were nice enough to go, you guys got a lot of shit going on. We're going to come back. We'll come back when when you got some time. So, Ralph, knowing what I know now, does Trump win? He does not. And the market goes down a minimum of 25%. With Elizabeth Warren as the head of the Senate Finance Committee, or you ready for this? Elizabeth Warren as the Secretary of the Treasury. A wealth tax. My buddy Greg Andrea, who owned the 88-foot Pershing, would be taxed based on how much that boat is worth. It will be the end of this country, ladies and gentlemen. I predict it. As of today, Ralph, I will tell you that Donald Trump does not win. As of today, I can also tell you that there are Republican insiders that believe he might drop out. Take that one with you. Now, some Republican insiders who I can't stand, a Bill Kristol or some folks at the National Review, might be floating that to try and. The dude doesn't like to lose. How does Trump not lose this election? He doesn't run. So he can go out on top and do the whole, I did everything. I can see this, guys. I did everything that most presidents do in 8 years. I did in 2. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I nail this shit, man. I'm surgical with this stuff, and I'm telling you, that's where Uncle Wiz is right now. If that wakes you up, now you know where I am, man. I've always told you that whenever I go through turbulence with my kids in an airplane, if I'm asleep and drooling, they don't worry. When I reach over and pull their lap belt tight, you know. David, I get that. The whole Trump's not a quitter. Trump's never been president before. Trump could, folks